Hi, we're the Magic Numbers, and you're watching Toasted.
You guys are looking good in the shot. Wow.
That's a magic camera you got there.
It's not even a magic camera, it's a cheap one. Maybe that's the trick. Hey, welcome to Amsterdam.
Thank you, yeah, good to be here.
On this melting day. Of course, you guys followed the news, right? You saw the tragic plane crash? My God.
Hear about that. Really sorry to hear about
A
that.
lot of people from the UK as well, right?
Yeah, we haven't heard the people that was on the plane, but it's just really horrible accident.
Over 200 people, wasn't it?
Yeah, almost 300.
Jeez.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
It's just...
Makes you think, right? I mean, you guys fly a lot as well, so...
It did make me think that, yeah, definitely. I mean, every time we get on a plane, you know, it's always that, especially we've got kids at home now and everything, you suddenly like, oh, what am I doing here? Putting myself in the... Yeah, but, yeah, it's really... I hope everyone's, you know, families and stuff are alright.
We'll deal with it, yeah.
Hey, there's also good news. You guys have a new album out, and it's very beautiful.
Thank you very much.
Your music, and especially your lyrics, are always about life experiences, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of the only way for us to be able to rise from, you know, how we feel and honesty and, you know, things that we deal with in our lives. And I think Romeo writes, like, you know, when you sit with the guitar, you're very sort of reflective and, you know.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of it is personal kind of experiences and, you know, things that, you know, we all go through as people. So, yeah, that's kind of what I tend to write about.
You got 4 years. You had 4 years to write this album. Of course, you had a solo record. I guess you don't use those 4 years to write a record, right? I mean, you probably wrote them in the last 3 months, right?
Well,
Exactly,
well,
yeah.
we're just always writing as it is all the time. So it's kind of when the songs arrive, from wherever, you know, they land. You know, and Michele made the solo record. I'd become a dad in that time as well. So lots of things.
There's a lot of living happening as well, you know. Sort of,
yeah, and we were collaborating with lots of different artists and things, playing guitar with different people, and which is always good as well because you come back with that, you know, energy and you've learned things and you're inspired. So, but yeah, some of the songs are newer and a couple of them probably 4 years old. So, yeah.
Still, when I read about what you guys experienced and all the good news that's there, am I wrong to say that it's still a little melancholic, the record?
Yeah, it is. I mean, it's very much of you know, coping with changes in your life and how you handle it, coming to terms with who you are as a person as you get older, and you sort of acknowledge different things about yourself and reflect on, you know, things that you've done, things that you wish you know, maybe have some regrets, and in some ways some of the more positive aspects that, you know, within findings. I always feel kind of lucky that I found music in a way to be this thing that I was good at, and it was like it would console me being able to have an outlet. A lot of people don't find that outlet. So yeah, you know, it's everything. It's everything. It's kind of hard because it's just everything of who you are. Just put it in.
Yeah, there's a lot of questions on the record to yourself, really, sort of very kind of and directed to the person listening. You know, sort of just take a minute and actually see what's going on, kind of thing. You know.
Hey, you guys are parents. You just told me. How did that change you as a musician? Because I read a beautiful quote, I think you said it, that, well, you know, being a dad, it takes away all the lightheartedness and gives you a little bit more feet on the ground, responsibility, and you can evaluate stuff easier. Is that true?
Yeah, and also it you know, it's one of the most inspiring things that's happened to me in my life, and also yeah, just didn't know what to expect. So no one knows, you know, no matter how much. When Michele became a mum before myself, and she's got a little girl at 6, and I've been asking her for lots of advice.
Did it help?
Yeah, it has actually. But yeah, you know, you kind of
It only gets easier.
Wait until they turn 16.
Yeah.
Harder in different levels, you know.
Hey, but then again, I mean, if I read your lyrics that on the previous albums, a lot of heartbreak, a lot of sorrow, and then, of course, it's really heartfelt when you hit the bottom. You know, it can be really depressing. And now we're only 4 years from that moment, and everything's changed, and the whole world is better and beautiful.
Yeah.
Hard to grasp that moment, right? I mean, if you now look back at the lyrics that you wrote then, don't you feel like, what was I thinking?
Well, to be honest, a lot of those thoughts still remain in the sense of, you know, it's your own sort of demons that you struggle with daily. You know, I may have had fears before about who I was prior to becoming a dad, or prior to now. I have fears of being someone that's going to be good for him, and I have, you know, so there's always, you know, and there's questions on there in terms of, like a song like Enough, is it ever good enough? Am I good enough? Will it ever be enough? And we ask, and I think everyone must ask themselves that.
It's such a, you know, you sing those lines, you close your eyes, and it's exactly what you want to say on everything, you know, with everything you do as well, and people that you meet, and I think that,
for me, it's kind of, I don't feel like, oh, okay, that was who I was. I can't sing this song anymore because it's still a part
there.
of,
It still rings true.
You know, the songs on the first album, when we play them, I go back into who I, you know, where I was at the time, in this, you know, this innocence and different things.
Sometimes a song can take you right back to that place where you were at the time when you wrote it, and you know, it's hard when it does that, but it's a really powerful sort of feeling that it can.
And I think as well, like, not even as making the songs, like, that's the power of music. Like, people have these when they hear a song, and it transports them to that time, and they think, oh man, I remember that, like, you know, and it's like, you know, but.
Hey, I was thinking, the first time I listened to the record, I thought it was very American, for some reason. And I still don't know why, because, I mean, you guys are not from America. Do you understand where I'm coming from, actually?
I think there's a lot of American influence on there, I guess.
But I mean, and that's where you hit a point, because I mean, immediately you start thinking Fleetwood Mac or whatever, and then you start getting into the trap of comparing bands, which I always think is a lot of nonsense. On the other hand, there must be influences, right?
They're always there, and it's always in the sort of background. It's not something that you do deliberately, but it is there. You know, it's and it makes you it makes you sort of better for it. You know, all the bands you learnt from our greats, you know, and there are a lot of American influences within the band, and I think, you know, we listen to all those records and we love those records, you know, and
I kind of don't sort of, I get what you're saying totally. We were influenced by a lot of soul music, country music, and a lot of that derives from America, and people like Neil Young, songwriters, you know.
You're touring with Neil Young, right? I mean, holy crap.
I know.
In
it's really
2 days.
true. Definitely, I know.
In 2 days'
we
time.
wouldn't have thought.
Apparently he did. I mean, how did that work out? Did he actually approach you guys, or?
His manager heard our new album. He's been a fan of the group for a while, and we've kind of remained friends. And I got in touch, sent him an email of the new record. He loved it and said, hey, let's do this. You know, so I've met Neil a couple times, briefly, so I'm hoping to actually get a good sit down and chat, or hopefully
I think you'll be carrying your guitar quite a lot of times backstage, just in case, you know.
To initiate
Neil wants to have a jam.
Kind of jam.
Probably will happen, right?
I hope so.
Cheers to that, folks, and to the new record.
Thank you.
Hey, so the Neil Young gigs will be fantastic. I mean, I guess when I Google you guys, there's like pictures, especially of you, with Jimmy Page, Slash, all sorts of famous people. You appeared on the Chemical Brothers records. U2 likes you. I mean, how come that you are a musician's band? What do you think?
I don't know. I think we
I mean, you're crafty, okay?
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, it's been really lovely that we've had people, like, if sometimes you're at a festival or something and someone from a band that you love would come up and go, I love your band, and like, and you're like, really?
Yeah.
Like, we went to see The Cure at the Royal Albert Hall, and
No shit.
and Simon Gallup, one of the best bass players, was you tell the story.
And so basically we somehow managed to get in to their sort of after show kind of, and we went and saw Simon there and we were like, oh my god, you know, Robert Smith walked past.
We're not worthy.
And I did exactly that. I went, oh, you know, and he goes, get up, man, you know, I know you guys, and you're a great bass player. And I was like, oh, I think my whole face went bright red, and I couldn't speak for a good couple minutes. And I got like a really nice sort of cuddle from him, and such a nice guy, and was hanging out with his kids and everything. So, and a band that huge influence on our records and grew up with, you know, from the start, and really sort of respect them as a band, because they just kept on doing what they wanted to do, you know. And,
they're one of the
Shame Lol left though, but
I mean, I love all the other Cure, but I think Robert still, I don't think there's anyone like him in terms of what he puts out there. And even, you know, at that show as well, it's like they played 41 songs, and it did not feel like that at all. It was like everything, and song after song, you forget how much they've done, and you know. And I think it's so crazy. Like, in some ways, they're one of the biggest bands, everyone knows them, but they're underrated in one regard, because, man, like the achievement and so for us, but that was a little example of, and it gives you a little boost when you meet people that you love, and they're like, oh yeah, I like your band. Like,
it does. It feels nice, and I mean, I love going up to, you know, if we got enough balls on that night to go.
But that's the thing, we're big fans of music, and I've never been fearful of, if I love someone, you know, and their music's touched me in my life, I have to go up and say it, because...
Did you ever have a bad experience?
Meeting someone.
I actually, before the band, I had one experience that will stay with me, because it was with... it was before anything happened with the group, and I was in this club in London, and the singer guy from Black Rebel Motorcycle Club. Yeah. He was at the bar. Black Box Crew are fucking great. It's Luke Haynes and the Auteurs. Like, he can do no wrong. If you tell me to fuck off, it'll be fine. I'd laugh about it. But no, I was at the bar, and the singer was there, and these girls went up to him and went, oh my god, you're the guy from Black Rebel Motorcycle Club. And
doing some editing. Amazing.
I've had a few. But yeah, and he sort of like turned and was sort of like, and I looked at me, I was like, look at these idiots. And I was kind of like, man, that's so not the way to be, because... And they ran off, and they're like, oh my god, we just met the singer, you know, from that band. And so that was like, you know, but you know, you meet, sometimes at festivals, you'll see some band walking around like they're the hot, like, you know, and they're crap anyway, so it's sort of like...
Back to the music, because time is limited and we're getting way too cozy here. Let's see. The photo you took with Jimmy Page and Slash. Where was that actually?
That was at the Mojo Awards. The photographer guy took that. We won Best New Band, I think.
We did.
And and I went up to Slash.
Best new band. You guys have been around for how many years?
Well, it was an old photo.
It was an oldie. Yeah, it was an oldie.
Yeah.
It was first album. And I think we... and Romeo just...
I went up to Slash. He was the reason I bought a guitar, you know what I mean, like as a kid. And I was like, hey, you know, you've been a big influence. You're the reason I bought a guitar. And then seriously, he went, you know what? Hold on one sec. And he went across, and I was standing right there. and he said the same exact thing to Jeff Beck, and went, "Hey, this guy over here from this band just said I'm the reason he plays the guitar. You're the reason I play the guitar." And it was just this really cool moment. I was just like, "This is great."
Good.
And then Jimmy Page wanders around, like you're like, "Hold on a sec, what the hell is going on?" But yeah,
Well, we've definitely had some crazy moments like that, you know, just being surrounded with, you know, people that we love, and yeah, you know.
Hey, the records. The record starts with either a radio tuning or alarm clock tuning. The song is called "Wake Up." Why did you choose to start the record in that way?
I think "Wake Up" for us is a sort of great sort of beginning to the record, because it sends you on a journey. It sort of opens your eyes really to what we have to say for this record. Lyrically, it's really direct for me. And again, it goes back to just stop what you're doing and just listen, and you know, and I think is that it does that sort of for me, and I think we wanted to start with that track.
and also with the interference, the sort of radio, it was like sort of tuning into what you're about to kind of, you know, hear now. So that was sort of the thing for that.
11 songs, if I count them right. Great for vinyl, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's gonna be on double vinyl, gatefold, 3 tracks aside.
Will it be out on vinyl? Actually, I think.
100%.
Wow, yeah.
And the artwork is all done. It looks amazing. You got loads of passport photos.
Yeah, exactly. There was another question. Who made it to the sleeve?
Yeah, lots of people that we don't know.
Yeah.
How does that work? I mean, did you have a petition or?
Yeah. Well, we had sorry.
Yeah, no, go for it. No, we kind of it's some of them are friends of friends or people that we never met before, you know, and sent, you know, when we were doing it, and send their photos in and whatever, and
it was very easy, wasn't it?
It was very easy. I'm not being sarky at all. It was a labour of love, and it took a while, but it was really one of the kind of coolest sort of artworks I think that we've done, and it kind of again sort of.
Who did the concept? Was there an artist? Or did you guys do
It was us.
Yeah, we came up with the idea, and we kind of wanted it to kind of almost be the people on the record, their album as well, in a way, and their attachment and their kind of
And the snapshot of them, because like the record called Alias, it was sort of, you know, referencing the fact that, like, you know, we're different people at different times, with loads of different versions of ourselves out there, whether 10 years ago, in the moment, in the same day, when you're with one person to the next. So it kind of just felt right, and we wanted to try and do an album cover that no one had done before, and I to this day don't think it's been done before. So if you can prove it that someone else has done it.
I was about to call you on that. Yeah. Well, you know this Stereophonics record, Mr. What's his name, Mr.
Those Welsh
Welsh bastards.
Those pioneers.
Well, now you know what they did.
Hold on a second. What's the record? The Stereophonics one.
Yeah, well, I think it's the record, it's Mr. Nice. That's what it's called.
Okay,
it's about a book about a famous drug smuggler from
I
England.
think you're talking about Super Furry Animals.
Oh, Super Free Animals, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a little wrong because it's one person.
That's Howard Marks, just a couple of his disguises.
Exactly.
We knew that.
we spotted that, and we were like, okay, we can't use that tint.
Exactly. No neon. No neon. Exactly. We keep it simple. No, I mean it's that's a different thing. But yeah, I love that cover.
Hey, what I also love about the concept is that it's very rich. I mean, I saw a picture of you guys in a small passport photo booth, which is nice. Gets back in the videos. It's a really good concept.
It's kind of real as well. You know, it's really you know, it's you're most sort of self-conscious really when you're in the photo booth, and that's why we wanted to appear on it as well, because, you know, we kind of...
That's my actual passport photo.
Yeah, exactly.
I look like a criminal.
Exactly, you know. And we wanted it to be a sort of representing that, really.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, we've actually done on our website, you can send in your photo, and you can be... it's a surprise. He's got his
And here it is. It's the same one.
It so is.
So there you go.
And they still let him into different countries. I don't know how that happened.
Back again to the music. Shot in the Dark, beautiful fourth track of the album. Of course, the very much talked about solo is in there. Actually, the whole solo was the first thing that really stuck into my mind when I listened to the whole record.
That's great. Oh, cool.
An amazing solo. You played it?
Yeah. Oh, thanks, man. Yeah.
It's almost Pixie-esque, I was about to say.
cool.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah.
Trashy in the
Joey's
Yeah,
great
very,
guitarist.
yeah, very sort of gritty and angry, and you know.
Yeah, that was kind
How
of.
did it come about? Was it a jam or?
Well,
It was kind of. The song sort of really builds and builds vocally, and it's really intense, and it just felt like the next thing to do, and it just happened. And but I didn't want a sort of slick type of solo. I just wanted something that was sort of wild and wild abandoned, sort of
we
like.
kind of didn't work it out really.
No.
Every time was different. Every take was completely different, you know. And
Yeah.
we only did a couple of them as well, and it was just like we knew the one that was just like, okay, well that clearly has some sort of
Crazy.
crazy.
It's a memorizable solo. I mean, I don't recall many solos of the last, let's say, 10 years that really stuck in my mind.
Oh, cheers, man. That means
And I
a
also
lot.
loved it how it evolved and it got
Yeah.
back to almost Santana sound.
Yeah. Cool.
No, it sort of
Really
drops
beautiful.
down, sort of, yeah.
Oh, thank you,
cool.
man.
Hey, where did you guys record the album actually? Because it sounds like you had Abbey Road for like 5 months.
Yeah, we did it.
Nice, and we did get Abbey Road on there though, didn't we? We
It was mastered
yeah.
at Abbey Road.
Oh, good.
So the magic's
but only
on
for
there
a day. But no, we have our own studio. Well, where we recorded the album was in Wood Green in London, North London, a studio called Livingston, and we basically took over Studio 2 of there and put our desk and all our gear in there, and basically that was our home for quite some time, like, you know. And we
You
would
also wrote the record there, or?
I kind of wrote the record, you know, at home, or, you know, yeah.
We did 2 weeks prior to going into the studio, sort of rehearsals and pre-production, sort of working on the arrangements and everything, and then we went into the studio.
And this time around as well, it wasn't like we spent like a solid block there, because we had it was our space. We could come and go as we please. So we would do a few weeks and get things down, and then we'll go away and listen back when we come back, and we'd see there's some good stuff here. And we went in when we felt inspired, and we also recorded everything, and we knew when we left the room, okay, yeah, we captured something there, let's listen back to that. And sometimes we were right, sometimes we were like, that's not so good.
I can imagine you end up with so much material that it's really hard to choose what you're going to use, right?
Well, this time was kind of different. We sort of stuck to not doing as many takes as we would have done in the past. And before we'd like go up to 50, 60 takes, or you know. Yeah, just like me, I'm terrible for it. I just play again. You know,
We just play and play. But like different days, you know, you'd do like 10 takes or something, and then you'd go, okay, let's play something else, and then you'd come back and
wouldn't just do it all in one row. But
we have been known to spend a long time on a certain song. You know, it might the trick is
surprise you.
the trick is the trick is to make it, you know, seem as effortless and everything there. But there's a lot of work in there to try and make it that, because when you the end result, you want to be that thing, but there's a lot of
I think sometimes it's like it's that moment you're waiting for. It's the sort of moment that makes tingles, you know, down your spine and gets you on.
know it's good feeling.
And you know it's just like, okay, we got it, you know. Yeah, there's little things in there or whatever, but it's there, and that's the magic, really. And I think we wanted to do that more this time round, because we're aware that, you know, a lot of our fans and everything like that were like, really love you guys live, and you know, and the power of us on stage, and we wanted for the first time to actually capture all of that on record. And it's a hard kind of thing to do, because you haven't got the crowd there, you know. You haven't got your vodka, and you know, it's different sort of, you know, stage lights and roadie handing you your pick.
You've got Ben usually,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
our
you
engineer,
You
going,
got your engineer.
oh God, no,
moaning at you to
again, I want to go home.
So, it was a different, you know, but I think kind of this time, having that mindset and doing the rehearsals beforehand, we barely did many takes, and Romeo's, you know, a lot of the vocal takes we did together, and we knew that we knew which ones kind of felt right, and we went with those ones. And
a lot of the time with the vocals, it's usually the first few times you sing it.
Yeah.
Because you know you're there, and it's like. But I think music, you can, you know what I mean. You can keep going, and you can see improvements with vocals. Yeah, I think.
Because sometimes you get a feeling that if you do it too many times, it gets
becomes laboured.
or it loses soul and it sounds a bit dead, you know.
I don't think we did that this time, and that's why we didn't do long stints either. We wanted to, when we were in the studio, hey man, we're going to the studio today. It's a good day. You know, we get out of the house. You know, we leave everything behind us, and we go in there for a couple of days, and it's all about music then, and it's nice, and it felt energetic and.
Yeah.
Sure came through on the record. Another great song, Roy Orbison. When I saw the title, I was like, okay, is this going to be an ode to Roy Orbison? And I always think, why would a band write a song titled at a certain famous person? Because it must be.
We didn't call the album that.
No, but I mean, you know what I mean, right? I mean,
We did think about that. Should we just call the album that to really confuse everyone?
yeah, let's call it Woody Allen.
yeah, exactly.
No, I mean, you know where I'm coming from. Of course, if you read the lyrics, beautiful, 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 beautiful.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, it was in the lyric, the song. I was reading this biography called Dark Star about Roy. It was his autobiography. And this one song, Running Scared, kept coming into my head. And when I started, when I was writing, this sort of, it was very kind of 50s-esque on the guitar. And I had the line, "Am I just running scared?" with Roy Orbison still ringing in my ears. And when we played it live, like when we played it together as a band, like brought it to the band, we rehearsed it, everyone was like, "Oh, let's play the Roy song," and so we just referred to it as Roy Orbison, and we were like, well, it's got to be called that.
Stuck, yeah.
Yeah, and then when we started recording it,
everything kind of, the sound of it became almost like he was in the room, really.
Wow.
Yeah, and it was really powerful, and then, you know, the whole crescendo at the end and the build, and it kind of just took over in terms of where we were going with it from the beginning. It kind of just...
And then I'm sorry to interrupt you, because I mean, somebody from your record company harasses me all the time. What I love is the way it melts almost into a Thought I Wasn't Ready, which is also a very beautiful song, and I was happy to find that the order of songs, in the way I was listening to it on the promo I got, was the same as it was on the record, because I thought it's a really good choice to have it after Roy Orbison.
Oh, good. Yeah, thanks for that. Really,
it's
I'm
hard.
glad.
It's a hard one to sequence a record and stuff, but yeah, that one
I'm
does
glad
go.
You
well.
picked up on the, you know, the sequencing.
Beautiful song.
Yeah,
And another complete surprise in the recording process. You know, Romeo wrote that song for Ange to sing, and it was on the piano, and you kind of a bit, you know, as soon as she started singing it, she added this kind of, you know, extra
It's
kind of
made for her.
Yeah, totally. And she does, I think, one of her best vocals that she's recorded on it. I really, really love it. And it's funny because I find it hard sometimes to listen to my own sort of voice when I was, you know, not that, you know, it's cool, but when I hear, if it's Michelle or Angela singing, I can listen to it sort of differently without being too analytical or, you know, so I love it. I think it's great. I'm really pleased with that one.
Lyric-wise, also a great accidental song, and now when I listen to what you guys said, apparently maybe the whole album wasn't sort of an accident. Yeah. You guys, of course, you had great ideas, but you stumbled upon a lot of brilliant things, right?
Yeah, totally. But that's the thing. That's the kind of the main thing with having your own place is like you allow it for these things to happen, and when you're aware of time ticking all the time, you don't know what's you know what I mean. It's too controlled. So
I think we're just a lot more of accepting of things that just happened, and not fighting it too much, and just letting it be what it is, and be free with it. And if someone wants to sing out a line, go for it. There's no sort of restrictions anymore, and I think it's probably one of the sort of funnest things to do, and really inspiring record.
So you guys are looking forward to tour this album, right?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. We always change the arrangements and everything, so people can expect that next time we're
it'll
around.
be completely different when you see it. But that's just to keep us on our toes and have fun. But
but also, you're never going to make the record. You're never going to make the album sound on stage, are you? And so, I'd like to think people who come down to the shows are going to get something a little new.
You guys have a killer live rep, so I have no doubts that people will come and find you. So this time when the Top of the Pops calls you, you guys will probably stay in the...
Well, we killed that show off. We killed that show off. It doesn't even exist anymore.
I'm so glad. That was like the craziest story I read when I delved into your history. Like, what the fuck was that? I mean, what a good call not to appear, really.
Yeah, it turned out nice again.
Yeah.
It turned out nice again.
Yeah, it was all right. It's a moment in time, that one, definitely.
Well, nobody had the balls to do it, so...
It's true. And I think there you are. That's the kind of band that we are, I think.
Yeah, I think.
And great music.
Oh, thanks.
Thanks very much.
Let's wrap it up. I think we have material for another hour to talk, but
that'd be nice,
I think we have to do that next time when you guys are around.
More beers for crying out loud.
Sorry, man.
Not you. Him.
I'll bring the beers next time.